My friend hit me with the term 电子阳痿 when I invited him to play the new Monster Hunter Wilds title update. It literally translates to electronic ED, a Chinese slang term for the mental fatigue or lack of interest in digital entertainment, especially video games. Whether you've felt it or not, we can probably all agree it's not something anyone wants. So let's take a closer look. Hi there, I'm John. Welcome to this channel where I share my opinion. I couldn't find an English term that's as funny as electronic ED, but the closest equivalent is probably gaming burnout. It's more straightforward and widely used in English-speaking communities, so that's what I'll be calling it from now on. A lot of you are probably around the same age as me, so I wouldn't be surprised if you feel this too. If it sounds familiar, drop a comment. I'd love to hear your experience. And hopefully this video can offer a few ideas to help you work through it. That conversation with my friend definitely made me stop and think, do I have this gaming burnout too? I usually don't like to admit it, but since the English term sounds a lot softer than electronic ED, I'll say it. Yeah, I definitely experienced the same thing. After a long day of work, it's easy to feel drained and just want to sit down and relax a bit longer. At some point, even playing video games starts to feel like too much effort. I often catch myself laying down and spending the rest of the night watching YouTube instead. So what's causing this? I think a lot of us grow up dreaming about the day we could play video games whenever we want, with no one there to stop us. But now that I finally have the freedom, I'm the one choosing not to. The first thing that came to mind was maybe video games just aren't as fun as they used to be. And in some way, that's true. I've talked about this in previous videos, how the AAA gaming industry has been struggling for years. The rise of live service models, constant monetization, and half-finished releases are slowly draining the joy out of what used to be a passionate and creative space. These days, we are paying more and getting less. Games released at broken states, filled with microtransactions, and expect us to wait months for basic features or performance fixes. Just look at the recent review bombing of Monster Hunter Wilds. Many players are frustrated, not with the game itself, but with how slow Capcom has been when it comes to releasing meaningful updates and fixing performance issues. And to make matters worse, Capcom even cancelled their planned presentation at the 2025 Computer Entertainment Developers Conference. The talk was supposed to be titled "Making Monster Hunter Wilds Run Smoothly," all about performance adjustments. Yeah, ironic, right? That situation kind of sums up how many people feel about modern gaming. Disconnected, disappointed, and exhausted. And that might be a big reason why so many of us are dealing with this so-called gaming burnout. But for me, I usually try to look beyond the obvious. Sure, the state of modern gaming plays a role, but I can't help but wonder if there's also something going on inside me. Is it really just the games that have changed, or have I changed too? A few months ago, I made a video about a Minecraft movie. In it, I talked about how kids' increasingly wild and unfocused behavior might be tied to the constant stimulation and instant gratification they get from short-form content like TikTok, YouTube Shorts, and fast-paced mobile games. But here's the thing, that dopamine hit doesn't just affect children, it affects adults too, just in different, more subtle ways. We might not be jumping around the room or screaming at an iPad, but we are still caught in the same cycle. The more our brains get used to fast, low-effort entertainment, the harder it becomes to engage with anything slower or more demanding, like a long RPG game, a strategy game, or even a deep story-driven experience. The temptation to consume content passively rather than actively experience something is only getting stronger. At first, I find myself watching more movies and TV series instead of gaming. Then that shifted to YouTube videos, shorter and easier to digest. Now platforms like YouTube Shorts and Instagram Reels can easily trap my attention for hours. This pattern reflects a broader trend. Our attention spans have been shrinking steadily over the years. We are wired to crave quick quick hits of entertainment and instant gratification, which makes sitting down for a long gaming session or engaging deeply with complex stories feels like a huge effort. Interestingly, game designers have noticed this shift and are adapting to it. Many modern games now emphasize bit-sized rewards, fast-paced loops, and constant feedback to keep players hooked in shorter bursts. Mobile games, live service titles, and even more AAA games are using features like daily quiz, micro-events, and flashy cosmetics to capture your attention in quick hits rather than encourage long immersive play sessions. Besides the way we engage with entertainment nowadays, there's another big factor contributing to this gaming burnout, and that's health. As I get older, I find it harder to bounce back from those late-night gaming marathons. Irregular sleep schedules and unhealthy eating habits start to take a real toll. These lifestyle factors cause hormone imbalances in the body, which can zap your energy and motivation. The result, even activities I used to love, like gaming, start to feel like chores. When your body isn't at its best, it's harder to summon the enthusiasm and focus needed to fully enjoy immersive gaming sessions. It's a vicious cycle. Poor health leads to low motivation, which leads to less engaging play and eventually more burnout. Now that we've broken the problem down into three main factors, the games themselves, our shrinking attention spans, and our health, let's try figure out some solutions together. Let's start with the games. We can't change how the industry works overnight. AAA publishers aren't going to suddenly stop pushing live service models or prioritizing profits over player experience just because we are burned out. But that doesn't mean we are powerless. We can still take control over how we engage with games. One of the simplest and most effective way is to go back to the classics, play retro games, revisit the title you used to love, and see if they still spark joy. There are so many ways to play older games now, from official remasters to emulation, and there's no reason not to give them another shot. For example, a couple months ago, I spent a lot of time playing Monster Hunter 3, and I had an absolute blast. It reminded me what made me fall in love with games in the first place. Also, try to reset the pressure of chasing trends. Everything online is about what's new and hype, but just because a game loses traction on the internet doesn't mean it's not worth playing. With game prices climbing higher and higher, this might actually be the perfect time to break the habit of always want the latest, flashiest title. There's value in slowing down, revisiting hidden gems, or even finally playing something from your backlog. And here's one important thing to keep in mind. Resist the urge to just watch other people play games. Instead, play them yourself. It's so easy to fall into the habit of watching endless gameplay videos, and while that can be entertaining, you're not engaging. You're just consuming. It gives you the illusion of participating in gaming without actually experiencing it. But the magic of games comes from interaction, not observation. So next time you catch yourself scrolling through gameplay clips or reviews for hours, try this instead. Pick up the controller, boot up something you've been meaning to try or revisit, and just start playing, even if only for a few minutes. That brings up to the second factor. Attention span. This one is definitely harder to deal with because, let's be honest, social media is everywhere. It's baked into our daily lives, and avoiding it completely is nearly impossible. The endless stream of content is designed to keep us scrolling, tapping, and watching without even thinking. But what we can do is become more aware of it. Lately, I've been trying to track how much time I spend on passive scrolling, just mindlessly flipping through shorts, reels, or random posts, and consciously replace that time with something more meaningful. If I catch myself falling into that scrolling trap, I try to snap out of it and do something else instead. It could be something physical like going for a run, or something intentional like actually sitting down to play a game. And even though the goal here is to rediscover the joy of gaming, I don't think that has to be the only outcome. This approach might lead you to other passions, reading, creating, exercising, things that fulfill you in different ways. The key, in my opinion, is awareness. Once you recognize the problem, you're already halfway there. With time, intention, and consistency, your attention span can bounce back, and so can your ability to enjoy the thing you used to love. And finally, the third problem, health. This one might be even harder to deal with than attention span because it demands something many of us struggle with: consistency over a long period of time. I'll be honest, I'm still in the middle of figuring this out myself. Lately, my biggest challenge has been insomnia. Not getting enough sleep drains my energy for the next day, which makes me more likely to skip exercises, and then I ended up eating poorly out of convenience or laziness. It becomes a cycle that's hard to break. But again, awareness is the first step. I might not have everything fixed yet, but just recognizing what's going wrong helps me course correct little by little. As long as I keep making progress, no matter how small, I know I'm moving towards a better state, physically and mentally. And ultimately, that's what will make games and lives in general feel more enjoyable again. Of course, I'm still in the process of working through all these issues myself, and your challenges might be completely different from mine. That's why the most important step is to identify what's holding you back and find a solution that fits your own situation. And if you've discovered any tips or strategies that helped you along the way, feel free to share them in the comments below. I'd love to hear them, and they might help someone else too. Anyway, I hope this video helps you on your journey to rediscover your passion, or at the very least, bring some attention to the issue of gaming burnout. It's something a lot of us are going through, even if we don't always talk about it. And if you're enjoying this video, please like and subscribe so you don't miss the future content. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.